You're listening to The Sports Moment. February 29th, 2024. Part of the Sports Moments and Memories with Craig Olson podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a sports moment. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
It was a wild night in Illinois. Big Ten basketball, the Golden Gophers in action against the Illini, and they had 20 lead changes in that game last night, and there were also 6 ties. And in the end, the Gophers lost to Illinois, 105-97. Both teams shot 60% in the game. Dawson Garcia had a game-high 29 points and a career-high 23 from Cam Christie in that game. Elijah Hawkins had his 4th point assist double-double this season. He had 10 points and 12 assists in the game. Minnesota now comes home to play host to Penn State on a Saturday afternoon in their next game. The Gopher women welcomed Iowa and Caitlin Clark to Williams Arena last night, and another historic mark fell. The Iowa guard continued her record-breaking quest as she passed Kansas Jayhawks legend Lynette Woodard for the major college women's basketball scoring mark as the Hawkeyes beat Minnesota 108-60. Clark scored her 33rd and final point of the game on her 8th three-pointer of the night, and that came at 4:29 of the fourth quarter, giving her 3,650 points. Woodard, who played in the final years of the AIAW from 1977 to 1981, scored 3,649 points. So Clark has beaten that record. Next up, Pete Maravich, who has the all-time men's record of scoring points in college basketball. So that's the next record that will fall to Caitlin Clark. What an amazing player she is. Anthony Edwards had 34 points, and the Timberwolves moved into sole possession of first place in the Western Conference with a 110-101 win over the Memphis Grizzlies last night. Naz Reid provided a spark off the bench with 19 points. Karl Anthony Towns, 13 points, 11 rebounds in his return after missing Tuesday's win over San Antonio for personal reasons. The Wolves have won 3 straight now. They lead Oklahoma City by a half game in the West. Well, Lake Area Docks and Lifts serves you from 5 different locations across the Lakes area, and they're excited for an early spring and hopefully a long summer of fun on the water. At Lake Area Docks and Lifts, they are here to help you get ready for that summer fun.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
And, of course, our friends over at the Pemberton Law Firm are glad to be sponsoring our podcast as well, getting all the information out to you, and they help you from 4 different locations around the region, including Fergus Falls, Wadena, Detroit Lakes, and Alexandria, and they're always available online at pemlaw.com. Pemberton Law carries a legacy of trustworthy and reputable legal representation dating all the way back to 1883. Fergus Falls High School graduate Sophie Rausch has had an outstanding collegiate hockey career, and it's coming to a close here pretty rapidly because her team, the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire, is playing for the O'Brien Cup Championship in the WIAC Conference title game on Saturday night. And Sophie has really made a mark at Eau Claire. Last week, in the first 2 games of the conference tournament, Sophie had an exceptional couple of games. She scored her 100th career goal. She also got her 50th point of the season, which is a single-season points record at Eau Claire. And she did it by setting a WIAC playoff record by scoring 4 goals in a playoff game, including a natural hat trick lots of fun things for Sophie, who has always been a goal scorer. And I asked her what all those accomplishments mean to her as she wraps up her collegiate career.
Yeah, first off, thank you. It means a lot to me because I put a lot of time and effort into playing and into practice and everything. So it's really nice to get to those goals that I had for myself. They're pretty hefty goals, so I'm just proud of myself for achieving them.
That game, Sophie, where you had 4 goals and the natural hat trick, did it seem like everything you touched turned to goals?
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing, like even in the game, especially after my third and fourth goal. It was just one of those days where on the rushes, you just find yourself in the most perfect position, and it just flies off your stick in the most perfect way. So I was really fortunate for that.
Talk about the players that you play with because, of course, you surround yourself with good players and good things happen, and you always make people around you better. What has it been like with your line mates?
Yeah, I think we have found a great line here in the second half of the season. Maddie Halter is actually on it as well. But me, Maddie Halter, Sadie Long, and a couple of our defenders, Sam Moley and Kira Bolt, I think we all play really well together. But us forwards in particular, I think just kind of know what each other's ideas are, what kind of what we're doing on the rush, the speed, especially Sadie Long and I. We played together for 2 years now. We weren't on the same line last year, but we just kind of have gotten the understanding how the other plays. I think that is a big thing, too. When scoring on rushes, you just kind of know what your teammates are doing, and you can predict where to go, where to get a pass, and whatnot. So, yeah, it's a big deal.
Sophie, we've been talking about you scoring goals ever since you were in youth hockey. Has it always come easy to you as a goal scorer, or was it a lot of hard work?
I do think it was just kind of a knack from the get-go. Of course, a lot of hard work comes to perfect it, but there's just something about scoring a goal that I just loved to do. And I think from 10U on up, I just kept finding ways to do that. And, of course, that has hard work and perfecting your shot and stuff like that. But, yeah, I think it's just kind of a natural just skill that I was born with, and I'm very thankful for.
Well, now you're playing the Wisconsin River Falls, top ranked in the country in Division III. What's it going to take to beat that outstanding program on Saturday night?
Yeah, it definitely is. They're a great team this year. They deserve that number 1 ranking. We played them a few times, so we kind of have an understanding of what they play like. For our game plan is to just keep things simple. Get pucks deep, get shots when we can, short shifts, hard plays, like all those little things, and then also keeping our head on a swivel and keeping our hockey IQ in the front of our minds when it comes to their plays. We've done some film on them. We kind of know how they like to break out and things like that. So we just need to make sure we recognize on the ice what's happening and counter it.
And Sunday is Selection Sunday, as the field will be set and the pairings will be set for the Division III tournament. What is the scenario for the Blugolds to make the playoffs?
We are right on the bubble right now in the pairwise, which is kind of the end-all in D3 hockey. We will most likely have to win on Saturday to get in. Out east, there are some games on Friday that are going on for semifinals. And I think after that, once that pairwise is updated, we'll get a very good idea of kind of what we need to do. There is a possibility that we could jump up just from those games on Friday and other teams losing and stuff. But I think to get us in for sure, a win on Saturday will do that.
As you wrap up your collegiate career, Sophie, will hockey continue to be a part of your life after college?
Yeah, right now my goal is to try to get onto a team in Europe for a year. I'm hoping to play somewhere in Sweden or other like mainland Europe, like Germany or Switzerland or something, for 1 year to kind of get the experience and travel a little bit. After that, I'm not 100% sure what my hockey life will look like. I would be interested in coaching a little bit in the future. Just not sure how that would look like with everything else going on, like my career and whatnot.
Sophie Rausch continuing to make her mark in a sport that she loves and has been dominant in since a very young age. Thanks to Sophie for joining us and getting us caught up on what has been just a magnificent career. Thanks for joining us for the podcast. Lots of playoff basketball around the area. The girls' high school basketball playoffs underway tonight. The Otters host St. Cloud. Hillcrest is home to Rothsay. Underwood plays Battle Lake in Underwood. West Central area is home to Clinton, Graceville, Beardsley. We'll keep you updated, give you all the results tomorrow morning and tomorrow throughout the day on the podcast. Thanks for joining us, and hope you have a great day.
You've been listening to The Sports Moment with Craig Olson. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts. Produced by Sunroom Lab. Music by Blue Red Roses. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and thanks for listening.